So let's take a look at our first bar chord. So the bar chords are the next stage in our chord learning process once we've completed the open chords. The open chords being chords like E major, G, D, D sus2, D sus4. Each of these chords between frets 1 to 3 are considered open chords. A minor F, for example. So, a bar chord is going to use our first finger to create a bar which would replicate, or which is meant to replicate this metal or this bone or plastic nut on the guitar. So, you may have a white one, mine's metal on this guitar, but yours may be white or black or whatever. This, when we play an open chord, is actually acting as our first finger. So we don't have to use our first finger to create a bar. So this is an E major. But what happens when we move an E major up one fret? Everything up like this. Let's try playing it. Sounds like a nice chord, it's an interesting chord. But it's not the chord we're looking for. It's not a bar chord. So in order to make this into a bar chord, we have to shift our fingers. So our little finger and our third finger are now going to take the place of our second finger and our third finger. So your third finger will be on fret 2 of the A string, and your fourth finger, your little finger, will be on fret 3 of the D string. Sorry, fret 3 of the A string and fret 3 of the D string, I apologise, like this. Now, your second finger, or middle finger, is going to be on fret 2 of the G string. So that's the same as your, if we move it down one fret, it's the same as your E chord, it's just that we've just shifted our fingers, like this. There's my E chord. If I play it like this without my first finger, then move everything up one. Now, since we don't have this bar here helping us, our finger has to create the bar. So our finger lays down across the fret above our second finger here. So in this case it's going to be fret 1, like this. Now, at first this is going to be difficult. Being able to press it down and apply enough pressure so that you can hear the chord like this is going to be difficult. So, what we're going to do is, first of all, you may have already learned an F chord like this. An F chord is using a mini bar, a bar on fret 1 of the B string and high, sorry, the high E string and the B string like this. Now, we want to gradually be able to stretch our finger across, like this. The aim and the goal is to be able to extend the finger long enough, and whilst doing this, the thumb has to drop back to compensate for this. So, I will give you a view in a moment of that. So, as my finger goes up, my hand naturally will rotate like this so that my fingers can stretch, and you can see what happens to my thumb here. My thumb automatically has to drop. If my thumb's up here while I'm doing this, it's only going to cause tension. My thumb's up here. Instant tension in this part of the hand, which is not what you want. You'll get cramping. So, the first thing will be slide the thumb down at the back of the guitar like this. I'll show you what I mean. Like this. Like that, in a rotational motion. This is what happens as I'm playing guitar. You'll see as I'm playing guitar that my thumb will be in a process of rotating. Going down, like this. So, the thumb needs to come down first of all, like this. And as that happens, it allows the fingers to extend. Now, At first, your fingers aren't going to lay flat. That's going to take time, which is why we're going one string at a time, like this. We're starting on the high E and the B string. Then we're going to add the G string. Now we're going to add the D string. We're going to add the A string. Now it's starting to get harder, and the high E, the low E, sorry. Now, this is something that you want to aim for because it's going to be difficult. It's not going to happen suddenly. It's not something that you can practice for a few minutes and you'll be able to do it. This is going to take finger strength and thumb strength and stability that you're going to develop over time. It's the neck, again, as I said, it's the next stage after your open chords. So, let me explain why I showed you the E chord. So this bar chord, like this, which I'm sure you've seen before and you've seen people move around, is called an E shape because it comes, if you move everything down to fret 1 and 2, it's an E chord. So, if you can think of this as an E chord moving up, you just need to bar your first finger. And this is why it's called an E-shaped bar chord. Now on fret 5 here, it's an A chord. And it might be a good start either to try it down here, where it's a little bit thinner maybe on your guitar, especially if you're playing on an acoustic guitar, or in the middle, where this is a really nice neutral position, where most of us learn to play scales or practice reading music because we can go up and down the guitar because we're in the middle. We can go up in pitch, or we can go down like that. So, start with an E chord and move up. For the A chord, we are going to have our first finger bar across fret 5, all of the strings. Then our third finger will be on fret 7 of the A string. Our fourth finger here, little finger, will be on fret 7 of the D string. This is a power chord, actually, like this. This is rock territory. And our second finger will be on fret 6 of the G string. Then bar the rest of them like this, with your first finger. The other challenge you may face is your pinky, your little finger, fourth finger. If you haven't used it much, it will take time to be able to have your little finger pressed down as well. With all chords that we are learning for the first time, in order to develop the finger strength, I always recommend that you have bursts, little bursts of pressing the chord down. If you hold the chord down for too long, you're going to fatigue your hand, tire your hand out, and that's going to hinder your progress and your practice anyway. A little bit like going to the gym. If someone goes to the gym and they don't warm up or does some sort of kind of exercise without warming up, if they injure themselves, it means they can't exercise anymore until they recover. The same with this. If you fatigue your hands too much, you can't practice. It's going to hinder your progress and the potential of you actually improving. So, little bursts. I will normally just bounce my fingers like this onto the neck. And then extend the amount of time I hold it for. Maybe count. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. And if you can hold it for more, gradually over time, you're progressing. It's a good way of tracking and measuring your progress. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Especially for a full bar chord. Now, it's important for me to say that even for me still, especially when I'm doing musicals and I have to play an acoustic guitar, playing just only bar chords can become really fatiguing for my left hand. So that's why it's important to develop the strength, because even if I'm playing in a musical where it's particularly if there's very few chances for me to take my hand off, like this. That over and over again for 4 minutes can become fatiguing if I'm gripping too hard with my thumb, it instantly will, over time, will gradually throughout that time, will cause tension in my hand, and it's happened to me where it's become very fatiguing and tiring. So even now myself, I tell myself to only apply as much pressure as I need to get the note out. Same with chords. So that's how to play an E-shape major bar chord coming from the E chord. Until next time, keep practicing.